All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to the Vital Edge podcast. I am one of your hosts, CJ Vedica. With me, one of my longtime best friends, Sean Lyon. Sean, how you doing?
What's up, everybody? I'm Sean, hanging out with CJ in our office, and we're here to talk about our new podcast and what we're about and what it's about, and I'm looking forward to getting started.
Good. Well, for the sake of the audio, I'm going to read out the description of what our podcast is because I don't have it memorized. I'm not a professional yet. This is our first show. But The Vital Edge will explore the small shifts that create powerful transformations in health and life. So each week, Sean and I are going to sit down with holistic practitioners, wellness experts, doctors, thought leaders to uncover practical tools, timeless wisdom, and cutting edge science that helps you unlock your body's natural vitality. So, from nutrition and energy healing to mindfulness and quantum wellness, this is where ancient practices meet modern breakthroughs, giving you the edge to live with more balance, resilience, and vitality every day. So, that is what we're going to be doing. That's what we're going to be bringing to you. And Sean and I were talking earlier about the 80-20 rule, and I'm not sure where it started or where it ended, but I'm going to let him sort of dive into that a little bit because it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I like reading books, learning from books, right? It's like one of the ways you can get 30 years of knowledge in 200 pages. Cuts out a lot of the learning, right? One of my favorite books is Gary Keller's One Thing. Like I'm an old Keller Williams guy. And one thing talks about the 80-20 principle, which I think most people know is 20% of your actions produce 80% of the results. 20% of your customers produce 80% of the revenue.
Right. Use it everywhere.
Yeah. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Just as I mentioned before, like in our house, we spend 80% of our time in 20% of our house. Right.
So, yeah. Same thing. 20% of your diet can take up 80% of your health. Or is that what?
It's everywhere. 80-20 is everywhere. And the one thing that I say the one thing because that's the name of the book, but the one thing that Gary Keller talks about is when you do the 80-20 rule and you find the 20% that's producing 80% of the results and you apply the 80-20 rule to the 20,
yeah,
now you're figuring out the 5%.
You're going deeper.
You're going deeper that produces the 5% that produces 95% of your results. And if you did that one more time, it then goes down to what's the 1% producing 99%. Right?
Gotcha. Yep.
So it's 80-20 rule times 3. So, and I've seen a lot of stuff out there recently. I don't know how it became popular. But they talk signal and noise. And the guy from Shark Tank, Mr. Wonderful, talks about working with Steve Jobs. And he's like, he had an 80-20 for signal and noise. Like, he'd only allow 20% noise, 80% had to be signal, and would just get rid of a lot of stuff. And then he talked about same thing. He said only person he's ever met that's had a better signal to noise ratios, Elon Musk, and it's like 99-1. Like he doesn't have any.
Yeah.
He does not waste any time if it's not that 1%. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
What we're talking about is how that applies to health and like what are the small changes, what are the small shifts that can produce the big results over time.
Right.
So that's what we're going to be here talking about. So when we have people on the podcast, we're going to be asking them, their area of expertise. Just say, you get a sleep expert. It's like there's a ton of information about sleep, a ton of different opinions, but like taking their 30 years of experience into an interview.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the end, like digging down to find out like what are those like one or two things that you can do today that'll make over time a big difference in the quality of sleep.
And that's going to be a good show because you and I both know how important sleep. I mean, I had sleep apnea, beat it, transferred my machine to you. You beat it,
yep.
And we got our own little.
Sleep is definitely one of those one things.
Oh, yeah, man. Before I went to a sleep doctor. And we'll get into a little bit telling our stories so the audience can understand, who we are. for those that don't know us and our backgrounds. But before I went to the sleep doctor, I hit a point of basically no return. I woke up one day and I didn't even know what was what. Like I was half asleep, half awake. This is crazy. How I was going to work, go to the sleep doctor. He was like, "Yeah, your tongue's too big for your throat, man." I was like, a nice way of telling me I'm too fat, But put me on that sleep machine. The very first day I had it, I woke up the next morning in the same position I fell asleep in, and it was a new world. I was like, one night of sleep can do this?
It's
Unbelievable.
incredible.
Game changer. But that's just one of the things, we're going to dive into. So let's talk about our stories a little bit, give people a little history. And mine isn't as exciting as yours. Mine's pretty much a 5-year transformation that I've been going through with health, and it's been with everything: alcohol, food. You've named it, you name it, and you've been with me a lot of that, process and knocking out all the bad things to getting where I am right now. But your story's a little different than mine.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll let you
I
tell
wish
me.
it wasn't, but it is. January this year, I got into a near fatal car accident, head-on collision. Spent 3 weeks in the ICU, had 6 surgeries. They, saved my life, saved my arm, saved a lot. And coming out of it, like, when you almost die, you got two choices. You either give up or you choose to live. And unfortunately, or fortunately for me, it took a near death experience to like want to live. And due to the accident and past bad choices or whatever that compound over time, which is the whole theme of the podcast, right? Small results or small shifts can make big changes. And hopefully people don't have to come to a point to have a big thing happen to make you change.
Right, and that's the point you don't want to come to. Like
You did not want to go
small
there.
little things add up over time, and it's great. The purpose of this podcast is to give you guys these small little things, so it doesn't happen overnight. But you
And
have done that. You have gone through
well,
a pretty
I had
radical.
to, like I didn't really have a choice, which for me is good for me.
Right.
Like you just make a decision and that has a compound effect, as well. But, I was like, okay, you just assess the situation, and my situation is I don't have a lot of room for error anymore. Like I need to concentrate on my health and make good choices and um, basically I don't have when I say room for error, like I have to take this as seriously as I take anything else.
Right.
Right. So,
I banged you up pretty bad. Little slip up.
I mean,
It,
and yeah, I
well,
mean,
not just, and I say little slip up with health because it always happens around the holidays, right? Christmas time comes, New Year's comes, and I'll tell you what, I eat so many chocolate donuts and cookies and shit. But for you, you go add on 20 pounds, 30 pounds of visceral fat around your organs. That's
yeah, one of
gonna
the
mess you up a
topics
little
we
bit.
will cover because I believe in it so much is fasting and giving your body the time to repair and reset and recover.
Because
Right.
fasting just it helps you on a cellular level.
Helps you on the
Right?
cellular level, helps attack that visceral fat. I think right now I'm hour like 14. I'm gonna do 36, and there's cheat codes to that because it's not easy, but it is simple. So that'll be like a topic of a future podcast. But I believe,
And
after
it is a cool trick the way how you get to 36.
yeah,
It's really cool. I'm
I
excited to talk
honestly
about that.
believe that our bodies were meant and built to be healthy, and then we have to make a choice to let it be healthy, right?
Right.
Give it what it needs, um, and it needs a break sometimes.
Yeah,
So
I say that all the time. Even with my wife, she's like, "I'm tired." I'm like, "What? Didn't rest. We don't have to do a million things today. If your body needs rest, it's telling you, give it some rest. Chill out for a little bit.
it's
Everyone
definitely
go,
something
go,
to
go, go, go. And that's why you get some stress balls on your neck because you carry everything on your shoulders. And people need to chill out. I'm one to talk. You know how much I like to go. But no, there's absolutely, you have to allow your body time to rest. For you, I felt for you, man. When I was coming and seeing you in the hospital, I know your body was banged up, but your mind was right there. So having to sit in that room with just being fully 100% focused, I mean, you were sort of drugged up on pain pills a little bit here and there, but what I'm
not
saying is
much.
that
Not much. There's nothing that could.
it was a long time to not be able to move
It was 3 months.
of just you and your head. So I commend you for coming out on that and making yourself healthy because that's a battle in its own right. So I'm very proud of you. By the way, I don't know if I've ever told you I hug you all the time, but I am very proud of you.
Yeah,
You did awesome.
and just so the audience knows, like I had 80 fractures over 8 ribs, so I literally could not move for 3 months. And when you can't move, when your body can't do something, you're left with you and your brain, and you learn a lot about what's going on upstairs.
By yourself, yeah.
Because everywhere you go, there you are. Like you
Yeah.
can't hide, you can't outrun it. You're always there. So there was a lot of learning in the brain. There was a lot of healing in the body. It took time. It took patience.
Both of them together. Like you need your brain to heal your body. It's funny how we've there's a book, Quantum Warrior, that Sean shared with me, and one of the openings in the book was there was that study they did with the knee surgeries, and they gave 10 people that needed knee surgery. They went through this whole thing where the doctors and the patients didn't know whether they were getting the surgery or not, and only 3 of them got the surgery. 7 of them didn't get the surgery, and out of those 7, a couple of them only got sugar pills. Anyway, long story short, 10 out of 10 of them were successful. They went to the one man who was like 85 years old who had 0 pain pills, 0 surgery. He just had the little notches put in to make it look like. And he was mowing the grass. They said, how's your knee? The one you got surgery on. He starts smacking it and goes, oh, it's better than my other one. I wish I would have got them both worked on. He never had it done.
Yeah, and
He cured it with his
belief for sure.
Right. So,
Like,
but
they call it the placebo effect. But if you think something was done and it's going to work, and you believe that it works, your brain, you're like,
but with that said, you're highly intelligent. You healed your body without the placebo effect. You did have help from amazing doctors. They performed miracles on your arm. But I think you understand that. And you did practices, didn't you, to just help yourself heal?
well,
It
yeah,
wasn't just laying there and letting the doctors do work and doing, okay, you gotta go. I want you to move your arm 50 times today. You gotta do some visualization healing too, right?
yeah. I mean, everything's connected. The mind and body's connected. Spirit's connected. It's all connected. And you can't lack in one and expect the others to have their best chance. So for me, it was working on all of it at the same time, and having the patience to, which I'm not very good at patience.
Yeah.
But when you don't have a choice about it, it kind of,
Very powerful though.
keeps you in the right direction.
It's hard to be good at it.
No, it's a learned skill.
And you need it. It's what my dad told me, oh, like, what's the P word? What's the P word? Patience.
One of the things the doctors kept saying was, movement's your friend. And I'm like, I can't move. Like, I can't breathe. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in so much pain. And they, but the basics and the core principles were all the same. Like your body's meant to move. Your body's meant to be hydrated. Your body's meant to take food as fuel and energy and not food, like taste and stuff like that. So
where do you think that goes? Because I was thinking about this the other day, and I don't know if it's my entire life that brought me to this point and why I'm not this way. But I was watching my dog Bear, loves chasing the ball. Right? he runs like a horse, just nonstop. What he wants to do for fun. And then I was watching these little kids in the neighborhood just chasing each other around. I don't want to run. Dude. Like, where did that drive to, like, ooh, I want to go exercise? Because I'm pretty healthy right now. So one thing I'm lacking that I want to work on is exercising more. But I don't like it. I'd rather go out and play tennis or pickleball or something. But lost that drive. Well,
it's movement. You got to move.
I know, but it's
pickleball. It's pickleball.
Yeah, but I
walking.
Lost that internal drive to.
I honestly just think it's a mindset thing. Giving your body what it needs. Everybody needs movement.
Yeah.
So now you're saying how does it be fun?
Right.
Pickleball. That's why pickleball is so popular. Is it gives anybody can play it, right? Young, old.
Right.
It's fun. The group setting. Yeah, and you just find things that work for you that you enjoy that you'll keep doing.
Yeah.
And pickleball's not going anywhere. I've never played it, but I understand the appeal that it gives you: sport, competition, movement, exercise. You're exercising, you're breathing more,
Right.
your blood's flowing. Like,
yeah,
your body craves that stuff.
Right.
So I'll
I
see you
don't
on the
crave
pickleball court sometime soon.
Yeah. I don't know. If I played you in ping pong, dude. I think you'd be pretty nasty on the pickleball pool.
Yeah, probably.
It's just like anything else. Hand-eye coordination. You'll be fine.
So we'll have a pickleball episode.
It is on the list, dude. To be, I think it's down there, but it's on the list. So, thank you for sharing your story. I don't think mine's very exciting. I don't even know where to begin or what to say, but basically, I like to have fun, and I had a little bit too much fun growing up, too long into my life. I would say that. So about a couple years ago, I started doing tests with cutting out alcohol in my life, 30 days on, 30 days off, and had decided last year that I had to cut it out altogether, and it has transformed me dramatically. Before I did that, I was about 275 pounds, and I couldn't figure out, no matter when I go to the gym, I couldn't lose my belly, and I didn't know what to do, and I ended up changing my diet and moving on to these shakes, because what I found out that I wasn't giving my body the right nutrients at the right time. It seems like it's so silly, and I feel so stupid now, but I was always on the go, selling real estate, and I just wouldn't eat until I was hungry. And in my mind, I was like fasting, right? So I'm like, oh, well, if I don't eat until 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then that's just the same as fasting, and I should be good. Well, I didn't understand fasting. So,
Yeah.
I'd have this is a 3-gram bar. It's not going to break my fat, or a cup of coffee or something like that. And next thing you know, sugar's breaking my fat. I was just doing everything completely wrong. And changing to these, high vegetable protein shakes, I lost about 40 pounds in my first year. And then once I cut out alcohol, the mental change was dramatic. And then I can get into, Reiki and how much that changed me too. Just being able to keep myself balanced and not allow the negative forces of life control me, whether that's fear, anxiety. There's a lot of that transformation. It took me a little bit. But that's me in a nutshell. I was a shithead, and now I'm not. So
we're better versions of ourselves by choice, and in my case, choice and force.
Yeah.
I would say that, in my experience, the alcohol was like just a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
It didn't get at the root cause of like why I was having a drink anyway. Because if you look at it, it's poison. So why would you poison yourself? Like, if you truly cared about yourself, why would you poison yourself?
Yeah.
Like, and that why has nothing to do with the Band-Aid. Like, it just doesn't.
Well, it was easy to
It's easy.
to not face your demons. I mean, and
Yeah.
that's why when I used to drink to have fun, throughout my life, but towards the end there, it was like you said, it was a band-aid for stuff that I didn't want to face. So I would go out and drink and have fun and forget about it. I didn't want to deal with that problem. I wanted to just go have fun, and then maybe the problem will go away. But it doesn't
It never goes
away.
away. It makes it bigger and stronger.
Festers. And
It just doesn't go away. That's why I say it's a Band-Aid, because it's not, whatever it's trying to cover up doesn't go away by covering it up.
And you're not even putting any ointment on it either and helping yourself heal. You're just
You just get
covering it with a dirty
Band-Aid.
Band-Aid.
You just get bigger Band-Aids.
Yeah, exactly. Turn into it. All right. So that's us. I don't really know. I think we touched on everything. We're going to have, I want to do at least, one interview a week, 2 interviews a week. This is a big commitment. But as far as our first show goes, that's us in a nutshell. Is there anything you wanted to add or you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, we just did this to kind of introduce ourselves.
Right.
And we also did it to tell a little bit about our stories and, how we got here, and let people know that by no means are we like the expert in anything, but we're lifelong learners.
And we'll be bringing experts on. That's the whole purpose.
Bringing experts on, and then our job is to 80-20, 80-20, 80-20 to find those things that people can do and take away, and small shifts, that vital edge, that small shift that's going to create powerful results.
Do you want to, just for the sake of our first podcast, do you want to pick one to give them? Do you have any advice, any small shifts that you can give the people? Here's something small you could do that helped me.
I think a small shift is, for me, if I had to pick one on the spot, I would, it would be like a core belief that, our bodies want to be healthy. Like, it craves being healthy. And as long as we feed it and make choices to let it do its natural thing, to be healthy, that right there, if you make that decision, that like all the mental stuff, all the physical stuff, all the diet, nutrition, like, we're human beings with a intelligent design, and that design wants to be healthy,
optimal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can only mess that up.
And then the body has its own natural ability to heal itself. So keeping it healthy,
I mean, look at my arm. Well, I don't think they could see it, but basically,
I'll explain it to them, guys. It's an olive skin tone. It's got some hair running up it. 6 scars.
I had a 50-50 shot of losing my arm, and it still broke 8 months, 9 months later. It's still,
when you went in there, it was more like 70-30, 80. I think it was 80-20. It was 80% chance you were going to lose it. That 20% doctor came in and said, no, we're going to save it.
There's a whole story behind that and how lucky I got to get the guy that I did on that day. But there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. And I still have my arm, and it's a reminder every day that, even though it's still broke and it can take up to a year for the tissues to heal in between the bones, it's going to heal.
Yeah.
Like, every time I go in and get a new x-ray, you can see that it's making progress. Right? So, like, that's just, again, proof that our bodies want to heal and want to be healthy, and we just have to let it.
And there's where the P word comes in too, right? You got to have patience.
Patience, and give yourself permission.
Oh, there's another good P word. Patience and permission.
Promise.
Oh.
Usually don't break promises. Yeah. So you make a promise to yourself. Like, I'm going to promise myself that I'm
yeah.
Give myself what I need for my body to be naturally healthy. and not set up through, bad choices.
Awesome. I think that's a great way to close out. So, hey, thank you all for listening. Tune in to our next show. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but you'll find out when we do it. Again, my name's CJ.
Sean?
Thank you for listening to the Vital Ed Podcast. God bless you all. Peace. $26. Boom. That was it. That was only